Hey, Atarians, this is 7800 Pro Gamer here, and I am very excited to have Ed Mello with us today from Opcode Games. Now, if that name Opcode sounds familiar, you've probably seen it on your Facebook feed if you're following Atari. If you're a fan of AtariAge and hang out at the forums, you've no doubt undoubtedly have heard and seen the posts of what this gentleman is doing and what Opcode is doing. But I'm excited to have Ed here so that we can sort of discuss the new games that he's putting out or working on putting out as we speak. Ed, do you want to introduce yourself to the Atarians out there?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Really excited to be here. So, I am Ed Mello. I started Opcode Games a long time ago. Opcode is basically, a publisher, a developer and publisher initially for ColecoVision, but now we're also doing
Oh, wow.
our publishing games for Atari 7800 and in television. So yeah, we've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. I was surprised that you've been doing it since 2002. And, obviously I wouldn't know because I'm not a ColecoVision guy, but you have a good reputation in the ColecoVision community. What made you want to jump to Atari and the 7800 specifically?
Well, probably many reasons, but one of them was, um, we started doing this or Opcode games as a full time thing since last year.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, and we start thinking about expanding sort of the business, right? And what happened was we're doing some. We checking last year we got a couple license for arcade games from a company called Jaleco.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, and so one idea that we had was, well, those licenses, they're expensive and hard to justify. If you're, for example, just porting for a single system. Atari era is kind of niche, a
Yeah.
small community. So we thought, oh, maybe it could work if we could get the license, but then release the port for the same game for different systems. And
Oh
then
yeah.
that's when we start discussing some of the Atari 7800 developers, and from there, uh, it also happened that Atari Age made the decision last year to stop publishing
Mm-hmm.
unlicensed games. So we saw there, an opportunity, and that's
Oh
how
yeah.
it started. Yeah,
There's definitely an opportunity because one of the games that you are publishing is Popeye for the 7800. And
exactly. We're
that
very
game
lucky. Yeah,
is absolutely, I mean, it's huge. The community really wants access to that title in particular. And Moon Cresta is another great one that you're offering right now. But
yes.
the community wants Popeye for the 7800, so much so that I've seen it go on eBay for upwards of $600-$700. Um, how were you able to? I guess did you plan on reaching out to Daryl 1970 specifically for that game, or?
No, again, the reason why I know we start conversations with Dario was uh, because we're looking for a developer for one of our licensed games, and from there, um, things just happen. So we're very, very lucky to be working those guys. As they're just amazing, right? The very best.
Absolutely, yeah, and Daryl, and especially Robert De Crescenzo, who
Oh
did
yeah,
Mooncresta, he
yeah,
is probably it gets thrown around a lot, but the GOAT of the Atari 7800. I mean,
that's
his
for
work
sure.
is incredible. Yeah. So, what's it like to kind of work with Daryl and Bob and everybody behind the scenes? Is it as amazing as I think it is?
Oh yeah, it is. Absolutely, yes. Yeah, of course. I mean, I knew Bob a long time for I have been talking to him for a long time for
Hmm.
different reasons, And then last year when we start investigating the option to maybe start publishing, um, we got in touch with him and discussed, maybe try one of his games and see how that goes. And Dario, as I said, we're looking for a developer for one on our Jolly Corp license. So very, very lucky.
Wow.
Actually, we still have one more title to announce. Probably gonna happen next week.
Oh,
So
wow.
there's from a different developer.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's we're really
Is
lucky.
it an
We
Atari? Atari
Atari 78.
7800?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, good. And this video should coincide with that. So I'm very excited for you and me and everybody involved. Um, so yeah, that's really exciting. So you plan on obviously doing this a lot more then. Now this is your full-time gig and you
Yes,
want to do lots of platforms. So are you already working? Obviously, you said you have one more coming out probably next week, but are you just constantly working on getting more and more stuff out
we
for
have been
the
discussing
7800?
additional games. I have at least a couple other games we're discussing. So
Ec-
hopefully, maybe I don't know, early next year. We're not sure yet, but hopefully it's gonna happen.
Wow.
Again,
Yes.
our goal is not to be sort of because here's the thing. For the ColecoVision, basically now we're sort of go to publisher if you're looking for arcade ports that are a thing, um, and we don't release that many games in a year, probably a dozen
No.
games maximum.
Okay.
We're more concerned about quality and delivering a fantastic game, not
Oh,
releasing
absolutely.
as many titles as possible. And I guess that's the same thing we want to do with the 7800, right?
Yeah,
Get some fantastic games that people really want. Yeah.
that's good to hear. Cause yeah, this isn't a cash grab for you. This is
No.
actually something you're passionate about, and you want great games out there for classic consoles. That's
Yeah.
glad to hear it. I think that's what people want. There's too many people out there that just want our money and don't care what they deliver. So I'm sure everybody's
Mhm.
excited to hear that. So how many games have you released off the top of your head? I mean, you've been doing this for a while. I mean,
For the ColecoVision,
for yeah, Coleco or all together. Uh-oh.
from 2002 until last year, I was doing this for a sort of hobby thing. So
Right.
I made a lot of games, but some games I did not publish myself. They were published through other ColecoVision publishers. But a
Right.
total, probably 3 or 4 dozen games, different games. I don't know, something like
Wow.
that. Yeah,
So you have a proven track record. Again, I think for some of us, we've seen the Facebook post, and if we're not familiar with Coleco, you probably don't know Opcode, but you are not a new company by no means. I mean, you're a company with a proven track record that delivers consistently. So I think that's
that's
good
right. I mean,
news.
yeah, as I said, I mean, our first game. This was my first game. Oops, camera here. Yeah, there. So my first game
Oh,
that was
wow.
released back in 2002. Um, it was space a bunch of
Awesome.
different Space Invader games called Space Invader Collection, which I don't know. Let's see. There we go.
That looks
Right?
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And as far as I know, it was the very first homebrew release for any Atari era system using a professionally printed box. It was back in
Oh, wow.
2002. We also had our custom cartridge, shell,
Oh, wow.
with our
Yeah.
logo and stuff. Um, so I think we're first in many things.
Yeah, it looks like that's very impressive. I'm impressed. I think that's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Are those games still available? Can people find you online and order the Coleco
Some,
stuff or
yeah, some of them are for the ColecoVision. What we have now is well, since 2002, we upgrade, for example, for sorry, it's
you're fine.
hard to yeah, we upgrade for much better boxes,
That looks
so
incredible.
yeah, so we have this thing called the Super Game Club, which is basically a old school club where you can become a member, and then you're gonna
Oh, wow.
start receiving, for example, our printed magazines,
Oh, wow.
where where you have oh my gosh, where you have previews and interviews, all sort of cool stuff, very old
Wow.
school. And for members, we offer discounts and stuff like that. And as I said, our focus, at least for the ColecoVision, is arcade ports. That's our
Hmm.
thing. So we try to to produce very best possible ports of some of those classic arcade games for the
Wow.
ColecoVision. We started doing the same thing now for Atari 7800. And in fact, it's funny because, for example, we have Cresta available for the ColecoVision, and we're releasing Cresta for the 7800. And we have
Hmm.
Popeye coming for the ColecoVision, and we're also offering for the
For
Atari
the set.
7800. So, yeah.
So you're kind of are like the old school companies that produced and released games for every console available.
Uh,
That's really neat. I mean,
yeah. I guess, first of all, I'm a fan of, Atari era stuff. So, I
yeah,
was sort of
as we all
living
are.
that back in the day. And basically, I do things that I find personally exciting. You know,
Hmm.
I it could either be sort of emulating something that was available back in the day, with, for example, those magazines and stuff. Also, at the
Yeah.
same time, trying to push the envelope a little bit. So for the ColecoVision, for example, we have this thing called the Super Game Module, uh, which made us
Oh,
very,
wow.
well known.
Yeah.
It's basically an expansion module for the ColecoVision, and to date, we have sold like 3,000 plus units of that thing.
Oh, wow.
Um,
That's
there are,
impressive.
yeah, yeah, there are more than 100 different games supporting the Super Game Module. So that sort of
Wow.
thing, and we hope to maybe offer some of that as well for the 7800, depending on how things go. Right?
That that would be incredible. We always want more people working on the 7800 and more. I think having more publishers or people willing to publish these games or capable of publishing these games is
Mm-hmm.
very important because right now it's really down to AtariAge or trying to reach out to Atari Direct or Video 61. So now that people know they can take their games to you and have them potentially published on a cartridge, which again, for us, like you said, Atari age people, that's kind of the big deal. That's what we remember was having our games and the boxes and the manuals and the magazines. Like, I think that was the dream for a lot of us as kids. So the fact that
Oh
you're
yes,
doing this is incredible, and I think it's definitely a net positive for the 7800 community and the whole retro gaming community as a whole. And make sure you send me links to all your stuff. I'll have it in the description of the video for anybody watching.
yes, I will. So some things, for example, we're planning. So right now, our website is going through some
I
change
seen
there.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not working. So my wife, she works. We kind of share the Opcode thing. So she's doing all the graphic design for our
Oh, wow.
packagings, yeah, customer service, and then she's also doing the website. So she had to pause the website for a bit because we're concentrating on
Gotcha.
something else. But we should have the website fully working again before the end of the year, and we're
Hmm.
gonna have a decent online store. Some of the news are gonna share that. But in the meantime, one thing that we're planning is to have a email newsletter for all the
Okay.
700 people just want to receive some news or updates regarding either how
Oh,
their
yeah.
orders are going and things like that. So I can give you the link later. You
Yeah.
can just subscribe, and we're gonna send those newsletters.
Absolutely. I'm sure that my community would be very interested in that. So, one thing I'm going to present right here is this is where you can go right now. And again, we'll have the links to it. So, this is the website where people can pre order Popeye and Mooncrester right now, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Right now, we just
So,
have for the 7800, we just have this landing page with the two games we have. Hopefully, we're gonna have one more next week. But
yep,
again, the plan before the end of this year is to have a fully working website with the news and stuff. You can follow your
right.
orders, gonna offer much better,
That that
services.
that's exciting. So I guess the question when they go to this website right now, because tons of people want Popeye, lots of people want Moon Cresta too. Um, should they rush over? Is this limited? Is this a limited run, or is the plan to have it available for as long as possible?
As long as possible. Yes. Uh, the difference now is that, for example, for the ColecoVision, I'm doing everything. So, if you ask me that question, I can say, well, we don't have plans to. We're gonna keep selling as long as there's a demand for that.
Right.
Um, but with the 7800, since we're only publishers, actually, it's up to the developers to decide. I mean, uh, if they
Mm,
no longer want to offer the games, that's their
gotcha.
uh, right.
That makes a lot of sense actually. So that this isn't limited to like any
No, we don't have any set dates
gotcha.
right now. No, but it could happen eventually. So
Right, right. So and you said before you licensed some games direct from the developers or companies. Is there a worry or a concern of a possible cease and desist from say like the copyright owners of Popeye?
as always, right? Of course, that's a concern. It could happen, um, but we hope not.
It,
But it could happen, of course. And if the question is what happens, then my answer would be, well, in that case, we would have to provide refunds and say sorry.
okay,
But
that's why I
hopefully,
was
it's not gonna
curious.
happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully, it's not gonna
Okay.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah, we hope not either. Um again, I think there isn't really any concerns there for anybody watching. Obviously, AtariAge was able to feature both of those games in the past, and the only reason they took them down was due to internal reasons, not external. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But again, with certain games, it's always a possibility. But
Mm-hmm.
it it's
That's for sure.
just one of
Mm-hmm.
those things. So with Popeye, famously, there was a glitch in the initial run of Popeye for the 7800 where the scoring was incorrect on the second level, I believe, with the bottle throwing. Has that
Yes.
been improved in the game, or have there been any other improvements or alterations?
Fix it. Yes. So the truth is, there is still, as far as I know, he's still doing some tweaking of the game. So I don't know
Okay.
the exact list of changes, but I know that initially it was just a re-release. And then he said, "Oh, we could change. For example, the original version had the AtariAge logo.
Yeah.
Let's put the
Yeah.
Opcode logo there. Nice. Let's put the
That's awesome.
Opcode there. Yeah." And then he started doing other tweaks and fixes and changes. I remember he's saying something about the CHAG. There's some flickering the original version,
Hmm. Yeah.
and that has been removed or something like that. So some other graphic tweaks and improvements.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So it again, like a true I don't know what you want to say, a true artist. He's always perfecting and working on it, and that's awesome because there are something like the bottle glitch. I know it was
Yeah.
frustrating to me and Vinny
Mm-hmm.
when we first experienced it. Um, so you said there's plans, obviously, on more 7800 stuff. You're going to keep going on ColecoVision. Is there any plans to release 2600 games or anything else, or are you open to the idea?
Of course, I'm open, but the thing is, I guess what happened was some bad timing because,
Mm.
again, last year we started some conversation with some developers to also bring the license game to the 2600, and
Oh, okay.
we had some sort of initial agreements, things like that. Um, but then I think that Champ Games, they're sort of
Yeah,
paying more attention. Uh,
yeah.
but the thing is, on the other hand, I think it makes sense for them because I see Champ Games as sort of go to similar to us. I mean, they're sort of go to
Mm-hmm.
publisher if you're looking for arcade ports for the
Right.
2600. So I think it made sense for them to secure those um, arcade ports
Yeah.
re-release from AtariAge and things like that. So, but again, I mean, if you see any games or something that can grab your attention, it has this sort of special thing they're looking for. Sure, why not?
Yeah. Okay. So open to it, but not
Right now, no. Right now, we don't have anything.
right.
To be honest, yeah.
Gotcha.
On the
So
other hand, yes, please.
no, go ahead. You had more to add to that?
Yeah, I know. I was just going to mention that. On the other hand, we really surprised actually by the 7800, because so far, pre-orders have been amazing, better
I
than
was just going to ask that. What
Oh,
has the
okay.
response been? Yeah, to
Just amazing.
the
It's
release.
surprising, yeah. So, you know, the truth is, or at least until now, we're mainly a ColecoVision, publisher
Mm-hmm.
trying, different systems, and maybe we found, I don't know, our second thing
Yeah.
because it's just amazing. I mean, we're really surprised, and as I said, we plan to continue. We're excited about that.
There is definitely a need in the 7800 community for somebody like you and a company or a company like Opcode, because again, having more publishers, more people working on the console is always a good thing. And
Hmm.
again, I don't know if you knew about the need and the desire for Popeye and Moon Cresta, but those were such good choices to make your first releases. I mean, I can't imagine the response being anything other than positive and just overwhelming. So I was
Yes,
that planned?
I
Did
agree.
you see the opening for Popeye and say let's get that, or did it just kind of fall in place?
I mean, I kind of knew that, probably it was a title that, 700-800 users really wanted, but I was just not expecting the numbers that we're seeing. So that's
Gotcha.
the, yeah. Well, my view was like, okay, probably the 2600 is gonna be a large
Oh yeah.
market, right? Because it was the most
Hmm.
popular machine back in the day. But the 7800, we thought, okay, maybe we can do some sales there. But it's surprising. It's
The
yeah.
7800 is big right now. I don't know what it is, but the community has really, ever since COVID, it seems like the community has expanded
Mm-hmm.
exponentially. It's there's so many people getting into it, and with the 2600 plus and 7800 plus, I mean, it's only getting bigger. Is the plan for, and I assume it is because it worked previously, for these games to be 2600 plus compatible?
Yes. I got word from the developers that they both work.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
with the latest firmware at least. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Understood. Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, you can get the latest firmwares at AtariAge. One thing I want to ask again, we see on the website here availability March 2025. Is that the ship date? Is that what you're shooting for to ship the games?
Yes. Yeah. We decide to do sort of many months ahead,
Right, right.
to have the time to actually get a sense of how this Atari 7800 thing could go in terms of how many copies we should prepare and stuff. This our first
Yeah.
time, and the second reason is because actually we may be actually launching a new box with the Atari
Oh, really?
7800. Yeah, something that we have been working. So people, they actually love our current box. This is the current box
Yeah.
we use.
It looks
It's
good.
yeah, but we have something even more special that we're planning.
Oh, awesome.
and we planned the box to to actually start shipping with the 700-800 games. So
Awesome. That
yes.
I'd love to hear. I can't wait to see them. That's always fun to see the boxes are always fun and the manuals and stuff. Are there manuals included with the
Oh
games?
yes, of course. Yeah, we have a really high quality.
Oh,
This is
look at
for the
that.
ColecoVision, but yeah, it should be.
Right.
Oh my god.
No, you're
But
fine.
usually reviewers, they are very
Yep.
impressed by by the boxes and manual and stuff. The thing is, he is how we see things. You saw the page; it costs $60 for a game.
Yep.
That's the price of a modern game. If you think about so,
Yeah. Yeah.
games are not exactly cheap, right?
No. Yeah.
And and because of that, we think that basically the truth is you're paying premium price for something,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe that's up to us to deliver a premium, you know, game. Not only the
Yeah.
quality of the game, but also the quality of the packaging. I mean, you're getting a collector item, right?
Yeah. It's just so nice to hear you say that. I know that's going to put a lot of people's minds at ease, and hopefully you'll get a lot more orders once this comes out. I'm hoping
Hmm.
you do. Um, so yeah, March 2025. So that's kind of the release date, and obviously with this being your first 7800 release, I think people would be okay or understanding if you get a little overwhelmed with orders. And things get delayed a little bit because I mean this is a game that people want, and I couldn't imagine you getting anything less than just a dump truck full of orders
Let me
for
tell you,
it.
I mean, pre-orders so far are great, but it's compared to what we get from ColecoVision, it's still nothing. It's very small.
Oh wow.
So I can assure you that you know if we have any delays, probably it's not going to be because I mean I don't know unless we start selling thousands of copies from here to
Right.
March, but probably it's going to be because I don't know we had some delays with the new box, for example, or something like that. But
Right.
no, we plan to ship on time, and it should
Awesome.
take us about maybe a month to ship everything. Um, so
Gotcha.
yeah.
Very reasonable. Absolutely. So then I have to ask, is Opcode you and your wife, or is there more people
Mainly,
involved?
no, there we have some other people, helping us with some stuff. For example, we have a hardware expert
Oh,
for.
okay.
It's not 700-800 related yet, but
Right.
for
Right.
the ColecoVision, we have different hardware projects from custom cartridge to expansion modules. I mentioned the Super Game module. We have a new version
Yep.
coming that's way more advanced.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
you know, and then we have pixel artists. We have people.
Yep.
We have some writers to help us with for example, magazine stuff. We have some beta testers, et cetera, et cetera. So, but
Gotcha.
mainly
So,
myself, and my wife. As I said, I do all the development for ColecoVision. She does all the design work from packaging to magazine to everything. She does all the
wow.
customer service, and we're fully dedicated to this now. We're living our dreams.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great that you're able to live out this dream. So you're
yeah.
located in the U.S., correct?
Rhode Island, yes.
Road. Okay. Is there international shipping available to our friends overseas, or is it currently domestic?
Absolutely. No, we ship everywhere. I mean, we have
Oh, wow.
customers in Japan, Europe, many people,
Wow.
South America, you name it.
Awesome. Excellent.
Yeah.
People always ask when I do these, and I keep forgetting to ask the
Hmm.
question of if there's European and international shipping available. So I remembered this time, guys. I got you covered.
The only
Is
problem
there
is, the only problem is probably, as you know, that right now, the truth is
prices?
shipping is, yes,
Yeah. Yeah, you're
but
gonna pay. There's
mm,
nothing Opcode can do about the high prices of
no,
shipping
that's
and
too bad.
yeah, all that the cost of basically just shipping overseas. So that's expected, and I don't think anybody blames you for the high price. They
Mm.
should be used to it by now, I would think. But um this is absolutely incredible. I mean, we are so thrilled to have Popeye available again. We're so thrilled to have Moon Cresta available again. Super excited. Can't wait to see the announcement for the next 7800 game in just a week. That's a lot sooner than I think anybody anticipated. Is that going to be
Yeah.
hopefully another March 2025 release, or is that going to be a little
Yes.
later?
Yeah. For that one, we're planning to to ship with the other two games. Yes.
Awesome. Oh, incredible. I can't wait to see what it
Yeah.
is. Before we wrap up here, is there anything else we should know about yourself or Opcode or anything that you want to hit on that we didn't maybe get to?
Let's see. Well, first of all, I am. This is not my first time actually with the Atari 7800, because back in 2010, I was actually helping Kurt Vandal with the Atari
Oh,
7800 expansion module. I
oh,
was
okay.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of work with him. So some of my contributions for that
Wow.
project are, for example, the Yamaha 2151 sound chip. That was my thing. Um, and also, I think that I don't know if they stay in the final project or not. The Super Scroll thing. I also did all the glue
Mm,
logic at some point, but yeah, it's not my
wow.
first time. Yeah, but maybe a
Yeah. So
little
you,
know.
yeah, that it's such a shame that never saw the light of day because that was going to be probably such a game changer at the time, especially not needing to harvest pokey chips and stuff. So that's really cool that you
Exactly.
were involved with that project
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
got to work with Kurt. Kurt was such a huge advocate of the
He
7800
was. He was. Yeah.
and
Great guy.
such a
Great guy.
great
We
guy for
miss
the
him. Yeah.
community. Yeah,
Yeah.
just excellent. Yeah, so you're not new to the gaming and publishing scene. You're not new to the 7800, and that's going to put a lot of minds to ease. Again, I think for some of us Atari people who maybe don't focus on ColecoVision, a few of us were probably scratching our head like, "Who's Opcode? What is this real? How
Mm.
could this be real?" When we're paying $700 on eBay for these games. So just an incredible thing you're doing. I'm so glad that you're getting involved with the 7800. Can't wait to see what else you do.
Thanks so
Thank
much. Yes.
Yep. Thank you so much, Ed, for being with us. And I hope you have continued success. And I hope we see a lot more from you guys in the future.
Thanks again for having me.